You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Sakal Bhatt. Let's move on now. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba is in China till Thursday. On Tuesday, he met with China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi and discussed about ways to achieve a fair peace in the war with Russia. Kuleba's visit is the first by high-ranking Ukrainian official since Russia's full-scale war since February 2022 invasion, and China, the world's second largest economy, has not publicly yet condemned Russia for it. And DD India's Megumi Lim joins us from Kyiv with more updates on Ukraine ministers visiting China. The timings of it is very interesting considering Kuleba's visit marks the first very high-profile visit of a Ukrainian official on that land.
That's right. The timing is indeed quite important and also very, very crucial for Ukraine right now. President Zelensky is planning a second peace summit and is trying to shore up more support for that. But indeed, this is maybe the most progress we have seen in a long time in terms of Russia and Ukraine talking about possibly coming to the negotiating table. Today, the Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said in a statement that Kyiv was ready for talks with Moscow if Russia was willing to act in good faith. He did say that he was skeptical that Moscow would be able to act in good faith in any peace talks so far, but the Kremlin did respond to Kuleba's statement regarding the possibility of peace talks, saying that the Kremlin's the message from Kuleba is in unison with the Kremlin's position. Now, we do have to understand that both sides still hold very different views with regards to how the war should end. President Putin has in the past proposed a ceasefire before an end to the war, but under the conditions that Ukraine ceded territory to Russia, and also that Ukraine abandons its NATO ambitions. These are things that Kyiv has clearly said it is not willing to do. But with a possible Trump presidency on the horizon, which means a vital U.S. military aid could be cut off to Ukraine, and also with Russia suffering heavy losses every day on the front lines, there is a growing incentive for both sides to try to come to the negotiating table at some point.
Okay, interesting. There seems to be some scope for both the sides to come to a negotiating table, which right now, as the way things go, could be moderated by China. Is there a conversation happening somewhere that China could assume the role of a mediator? They're talking peace, because this is interesting. China hasn't publicly condemned Russia for it so far, and you have the Ukrainian big minister there.
That's right. You're right in that China has not condemned the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It has also not used the term invasion or war to describe what is happening in Ukraine. It has called it a crisis and a conflict. And China has positioned itself to be neutral in this war. But as we remember, more than 2 years ago, it declared a no-limits partnership with Russia days before the Russian invasion of Ukraine. But at the same time, China has economic ties and has held economic ties with Ukraine. It is in a very difficult position, and it has tried to offer ways to mediate in trying to achieve peace between two countries, but it didn't attend the peace summit, which was held in Switzerland last month, because Russia was not present. It instead proposed a 6-point peace plan together with Brazil, which said that at some point, Ukraine and Russia should hold an international peace conference, but it has not taken any active steps in actually realizing that. So we have yet to see how China may play an more active role in these talks and mediations.
Yes, as China's role is pretty much under scanner, Megumi, one final question from, what are the kind of reactions we're getting across Europe? It's going to be interesting how the other European partners are going to interpret this visit.
That's right. I think Europe is watching closely.
Yes.
China, as I said earlier, has appeared to forge closer ties with Russia over the past few years. And so this is something that Europe is very cautious about. But Ukraine also understands that China holds a lot of influence over Russia, and that Ukraine is wanting China to play a more active role in mediating and also helping to bring an end to this war. This is the very reason why Kuleba, the foreign minister of Ukraine, is in China this week. He's trying to find common ground between Ukraine and China in terms of how they want to pursue peace. So far, as I mentioned earlier, China has not seen eye to eye with Ukraine by, for example, not attending the peace summit that was hosted by Switzerland and organized by President Zelensky. But President Zelensky is trying to plan for a second peace summit before the end of this year, and he really wants China to be present. But as I said earlier, China is in a very complicated position
Yes.
with its close ties to Russia. So indeed, a lot of European countries will be paying close attention to China's role in the future.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this really concludes. But Megumi, many thanks for joining us live from Kyiv. Thank you.